All right. So earlier we told you we were going to meet the boss man in Australia. Well, we're now heading down under with the managing director of Bossman Food Group and York Street Capital, Roderick Grant. Roderick, good morning, or I don't know. What time of day is it into Australia? What time is it?
It's minutes to 11 at night, Monday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's your bedtime. It's past your bedtime.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for staying up to talk to us. We appreciate it.
No
So
problem.
interesting, your story. You left here when you were 15, left here in the 80s.
Correct.
And you've been there ever since.
Correct, yeah. So I came straight to Melbourne, straight from Jamaica.
Wow. So what was the occasion of your I mean, a lot of us immigrate. We go to the US, we go to Canada, we go to the UK, but Australia, not so much, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, my dad came here for work. He initially went to England and met someone there who told him about Australia. And he thought, why not give it a shot? And he came and decided to stay. So the family followed a few years later.
And what has that experience been like growing up in that culture? How different is it from what you know of home?
Well, very different for me, because I grew up in the country in St. Thomas. So I came to a big city, Melbourne, direct, went straight into high school and, excuse me, had to, assimilate within the culture here. And when we arrived, there wasn't a lot of Jamaicans or even real black people other than the locals. So, the times were good still. People were very interested in us, so we had no issues.
Yeah, I read you were the only black family in your suburb, which is kind of, it takes some getting used to know. I'm listening to your accent. You're really steeped now in that culture. Your accent, a little bit of Yard and a little bit of Aussie. It's really nice to hear. So you said there weren't many Jamaicans when you went. I think that's changing a little bit because a couple of months ago we actually spoke to a Jamaican there who had a restaurant, and we're getting to understand that Jamaican food is really starting to grow on Australians. And you have made sure that is a thing by your businesses. So you have your food truck and a couple of restaurants. So tell me how that started.
Actually, I started in 2011. And the main business was importing products from Jamaica. So all the Walker's Wood, the pick of pepper, sauces, all that kind of stuff. I basically introduced that to Australia.
But at 19, you're a full-fledged restaurant owner. You were started when you were 19.
Yeah. So, dating back then, I started that restaurant with a friend of mine from Trinidad. Whilst I was actually 18 going into 19, I was finishing high school. And I would go there after school in the evenings and work, go to school the next day type thing. And we ran that for a very long time. So that's really how I bite my teeth into the hospitality game, yeah.
Yeah, and so the fare that you're offering was really like jerk mainly, right?
Yeah, main thing was jerk chicken, but of course, we did the oxtail and the goat curry and, the festival and the fish and, everything.
Roderick said goat curry. You've been in Australia too long, Roderick.
Curry goat, right?
Yes, man. Sure. So tell me how you launched the food truck brand. So Real Jerk, obviously, you're playing on there. But how did that come about?
Yeah. So I sold my distribution business, the portfolio, about 5 years ago. And I was looking for a way to really still stay within, representing the culture and bringing the food to the people, and also work seasonal. So after I sold the business, my wife and kids and I will travel the world for a couple of months at a time, and the food truck business kind of fit in well because work the festival scene and events and so on during the summer season, and then we could just park them up and go on a bit of a holiday.
That's so fantastic. So how many trucks do you have on the road now?
So I have 2 trucks on the road at the moment. I've got a permanent location as well as a pretty big restaurant in about 2 kilometers out of the main city, Melbourne.
And that's
So right in the
that's
city.
Kalu?
Kalu, correct, yeah.
Okay, so Kalu is named
Yeah,
after your kids,
correct, yeah.
Khaleesi
So I've
and
got,
Luther. Too cute,
correct,
too
yeah,
cute.
yeah.
And that's
Yes.
plantain and cassava chips and jerk chicken and same authentic flavors that you say Jamaica is known for. Tell me what the response is from the Aussies who who patronize you, either the truck or the restaurant. And are there many Jamaicans who patronize you as well?
Yeah, so whenever Jamaicans or West Indians visit Australia, Melbourne, the first thing we look for is our food because we know we can find the food, we can find our people as well. So, we're getting people from all around, not only Melbourne, but around the state and country. When they come in, they'll come and hunt us down. And the food, we're very, very popular. Even our food trucks, the last 3 years have been voted top 10 food trucks in Victoria by the Herald Sun and the Age, which is the major news publications here.
Wow. So who staffs those trucks? Who's cooking?
I do a bit of the cooking as well at events, but I run up to about 20 staff during the peak season. So there's a lot of people that I've trained. I've got some good experienced staff that's been with me for 5 years. Jamaicans, Trinis, Guyanese, all kind of West Indian people work with me.
That is so great. So
Yeah.
what's the big plan, big boss? I mean, I don't know if there's much left for you to check off that bucket list because you're doing really
Yeah.
well, but what is the
Yeah.
goal?
For me right now, I'm working on just, I'm at the stage where I'm really happy with the business. It's doing really well and just basically maintaining it. I'm not really looking to expand much further. I've had many offers, but I like the business the way it is because I've got 2 young kids. One of them just started primary school today. So, I want to be able to have the flexibility to be at home, and I want to be at home with them.
Oh, I love that. Oh, okay. I had a question to ask, and what you said just kind of threw me. When was the last time you came home, by the way?
I came home, when was it? About 5 years ago. So my daughter was 1.5, thereabouts, and my wife was pregnant at the time with my son. So we came back for about 3 to 4 weeks, yeah.
So you do a visit now?
Yeah, definitely. The pandemic threw a spanner in everything these days,
I know, but
Yeah.
thankfully it didn't hurt the business, right?
No, my business, Jamaican food is a big part of it, but I also have 5 other brands that I operate. So, during the pandemic, when it was just about started, I put a lot of time and effort into reshaping the business. We created other locations and brands that were heavily focused on delivery and takeaway. And they were booming during the lockdowns, and for the last 2 years, they were doing really well.
Brilliant. Boy, Roger, great story. We're
Yeah.
going to go. Do you have anybody you want to say hi to before we leave?
Yeah, definitely. My grandmother lived up a yard.
All right, now we hear the yard coming up. My grandmother, yes.
Yeah, my grandfather as well. Peter Wilson live at Yalis, and my auntie them and cousins and all of the family members. Auntie Buna up at York as well. Yeah, everybody.
Nice.
Respect.
Nice. Thank you so much, sir. I feel like I was watching Greetings Across the World for a minute. Thank you, Roger. All the best with your business. Say hi to your family, and all the best as you continue to grow and just be a standard bearer for the Jamaican flag all the way in Australia. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day.
Yeah, man. Managing Director of Boss Man Food Group and York Street Capital, Roderick Grant. Anywhere we are planted, we will bloom. That is it for this week's Diaspora Check-In.